Major League Baseball also joined the party today. They will delay opening day by at least 2 weeks. Spring training games have been canceled as of today. The World Baseball Classic qualifiers also postponed. So Major League Baseball continuing to monitor. Mikie Mahtook, our friend who's now with the Philadelphia Phillies in spring training, had his spring come to a screeching halt today as well. He's good enough to jump aboard with us for a couple of minutes. How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. So you're on a bus right now?
I am on a bus. We are on our way back to Clearwater from Port Charlotte, where the Rays had their spring training.
So where were you today?
So we played the Rays spring training, which is in Port Charlotte, about an hour and a half from Clearwater.
Okay, so you're heading back to Clearwater right now. Y'all are on a bus. The whole team's on the bus?
Right. Some of the guys. I mean, the guys that some of the veteran guys that left early, they left early, but we most of the guys are on the bus.
Okay. Give me your reaction today, Mikie, when you got the news that spring training was being suspended and that obviously the start of the season is going to be pushed back at least 2 weeks.
Oh man, I mean it's crazy stuff. It's something that I think we kind of expected it to happen just because we watch all the other professional organizations and they postpone games and cancel seasons and did all that stuff. So I think we're kind of expecting it. We actually found out after the game was over, shaking hands, the PA announcer came over the loudspeaker and said that all spring training games are canceled from here on out. So that was like the extent of our information. That's all we got. And then we got into the clubhouse, just changed, and we got a text message that we had a meeting tomorrow morning to give us more details. So we're kind of in the dark as well.
How do you feel about the decision?
I mean, I think you had to do it. I think it was one of those things where there's just so much unknown. There's so many things that people don't know. There's so many. There's so much information about the virus. I think that isn't out there. Obviously we know that there's not that many cases of it. There's not that many deaths. It affects elderly people. All of those things, but that's all we know. I think there's a lot more that we don't know. I've talked to friends of mine that are doctors and kind of in that field, and they said that it better safe than sorry, and they're just trying to stop the spreading is what they're trying to do. And so I don't have a problem with it. It's just it's a crazy time, man. I mean, I don't know if I could have ever said that I could predict March Madness being canceled.
Right, man, it's bonkers. Yeah. Would you have been uncomfortable if the decision was made to continue playing?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Would you have been uncomfortable if the decision had been made to continue playing?
I don't know if I would have been uncomfortable. I mean, it's been the talk of the clubhouse, ever since the first cases came to the U.S. So I don't know if I would have been uncomfortable, but I think that there would have been a lot more people would have been a lot more cautious. I think people would have been worried about more stuff. Baseball's hard enough as it is to go and try to play, and then when guys are worried about families and worried about their loved ones, I think that would take away from the game. I don't think that the guys would be as worried about themselves getting the virus. I think most of the guys would be worried about possibly getting it and giving it to their kids or giving it to their moms or dads or grandparents. So I think that's where the worry comes in.
Mikie Mahtook's our guest on a bus somewhere in Florida right now with the Phillies. He's on Twitter at Mikie Mahtook8. Y'all give him a follow. What has the organization, if anything, told you all?
So we had a meeting about a week ago, and they basically just said, look, make sure you take all the precautions. Wash your hands. Anytime you pass a sink, wash your hands. Don't just rinse it. Wash it for 20, 30 seconds at a time. Make sure you have hand sanitizer. Make sure you don't touch your face, eyes. All the things that everybody else has been hearing is the information that we got, and it was just one of those things where, I just don't think people know really how to prevent it and how to do it. So they're just kind of giving everybody these blanket statements and just make sure you take care of your hygiene.
Mikie, what about what's next? I mean, what do you do? Do you self quarantine? Do you just go hang out? And what do you do?
That is the conversation that has been happening in this bus for the last 2 hours. What the heck do we do? Like, are we going to be able to go and work out at the field, or are they canceling all workouts? We don't know any of that. So I think we're going to have a lot more answers tomorrow morning when we have our meeting, and then go from there. Like, I don't know if they're going to say, hey, everybody go home. We don't know what they're going to do. There's just a lot of speculation right now, but whatever they tell us to do, we're going to have to do it and get through it.
Man, we've been keeping tabs just on the field. How's it been going for you this spring?
I feel great. I mean, I feel like this last week or so, I've really, got my timing back and I've, gotten my swing, gotten into the middle of the swing of things, and then, it comes to a screeching halt now. But I feel good. I feel, the guys in the clubhouse and the staff here has been awesome, and it's a very, close group of guys, and they really, really, really want to win, and they're focused on winning. And when you have a clubhouse culture and a locker room that way, it makes it a lot more fun. So it's been great so far, and obviously, hopefully this stoppage of play doesn't last for too long, and we get back on the field.
First time in the NL. What's the biggest difference for you?
See, since it's spring training, we haven't had too many, but the biggest difference for me is, hey, you got to be ready from inning 3 on, because there's so many double switches and there's so many different things, there's so many different moves that you make. In the American League, the pitchers don't hit you at the DH, so you just, you kind of understand back into the games when you may have to pinch hit. In the National League, there's double switches. You're going to go in there, you have to be ready to go on a whim. So I think that's the biggest difference, but I haven't had any issues with it so far. As long as you stay ready, you're never surprised.
Well, dude, we're pulling for you as always, man. Keep washing your hands. You don't pick your nose, and
there you go.
keep that timing down. And we'll check in soon, man. I appreciate you for joining us a couple of minutes. All right.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Yep, you got it. That's Mikie Mahtook.